Hey guys, it's Nari. I have done it. I finally finished the short film. And this time I'm not going to forget to actually give context. If you're new here, if you haven't seen the last two videos of mine, I've for the past 2 months, I have been working on 2 different projects. This most recent one being a short film, and the last one being a song. This is for a class in my high school called Advanced Studies. Basically, you make a project related to technology. It can be anything you want as long as it has been improved. For this particular project, I decided to do 3 different things, definitely biting off a lot more than I can chew. So having a different project basically every single month, starting with a song, a short film, and then eventually a game. Currently, it is November 22nd. This video will be coming out November 23rd. That is my deadline that I made for this particular short film project. It's been almost exactly 4 weeks, so about a month. And for the game, which I'm starting on tomorrow, I have until December 22nd, which is the end of this first semester, to turn in the game, a research paper, and also presentate to a group of administrators at my high school. Basically, the research paper has to be 5 pages. Some of the stuff I haven't detailed very much, but I'm going into detail now since I haven't done already. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing how the song went, you can go back on the other video. It'll also be down in the description. Might even have a little info thingy. One of these corners. I always forget which one it is. I always forget. I don't even put them up half the time. I forget. But yeah, today we're going to be going through the short film I made. If you're wondering where the video is in particular, it actually is on my other channel, Nari Video Productions, which is a channel that has been abandoned for a while, on and off. I made the channel primarily just to focus on production stuff, where I was doing it on here several years ago. I have several channels for different reasons, most that I have deleted, but Nari Video Productions has stayed through because there are some stuff in there that I have liked, and stuff that really shows you know, the progression of my production skills, my videography skills, which by any means I'm not really going into college to major in it, but it's just a fun little hobby of mine. It's never been anything that I have really wanted to do as a profession, but if I ever had the opportunity to, I would love to. My current major I'm going for is information technology, to basically do customer support for computers and such. So I definitely think that that's a good backup for me, videography and video production. And as you'll see how good I am after doing this for several years, starting from, you know, this thing, which is actually in the video today, and tying back to my roots back when I used to make a series called Aiden Shrewsburg, which if you look on the channel, there's a playlist on there, which will also be down linked in the description, called My Old Productions or something like that. And it essentially is old videos used to make that were uploaded on a series of different channels. First, Aiden Shrewsbury's channel, which he's actually in this video, and then my channel, which is this one currently you're watching. Back before it was Nari, it was Smasher 200, which also detailed my last video making the song. So yeah, basically we're gonna go through today, and I'm going to explain some of my design choices, sort of the ideal of this short film. I'm going to leave a lot of it up to interpretation. I'm not going to dig real deep, mostly because I don't want to keep this extremely long. It's a 4-minute video for the most part, so we'll see. Just tell me how you like it. Tell me how I did. I'm super interested to see. But yeah, I highly advise that you go watch that video first before coming here to watch the explanation. Otherwise, it'll be a bit confusing. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and give you a second to click the link. I'll go do that. Probably one of the corners, or it's down in the description too. Alright, you ready? Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and start off. I want to go ahead and say that because I'm actually running this already in my video editor, I do have it exported. I'll be transitioning between the export and the actual edit page. That it will be a little laggy in some sections, especially because I am recording. But yeah, we're going to detail some of the stuff that I did. You'll be able to see my whole timeline here as much as I can show, because I do not have a big enough screen to crank the scaling down anymore. I got like a 22-inch screen here, so kind of a tight fit to be able to still see the project itself. But yeah, I did edit all of this on DaVinci Resolve 16. I did not go to the public beta for 17 just yet, because I was in the middle of all of this. For filming, I took about a week. I started last Monday, start filming, but realistically it was like 2 days of actual filming. I got Tyler Gaither here, he is in the video, and also Aiden Shrewsbury, he's also in the video as well. They recorded on the second day of my actual recording, and then the first day was recorded most of this stuff here. So we're going to go ahead and detail a lot of the techniques I used and a lot of the stuff I used. So for this first little section here, if we go ahead and I have all this organized, kind of. So you can basically see how I did this chronologically. I actually started with this, and then I ended up doing some shots way after the fact. And we're going to detail some of the deleted scenes and some other stuff like that I decided not to keep in here. So first off, we're going to go and start off with we're going to chronologically in the order of the short film itself. For this first part, as you can see, the newscast part is actually it's a ripoff of WXI12. It's UUXI12, which the joke is that it's WUU. Yeah, you get it. So I spent a couple minutes in Photoshop whiffing that up, which was fun. And then this is actually just a picture of my TV screen. So I have this really stupid clip of me going through here and like trying to make it so you can see when my TV's on, and then like turning it off with the button, and then like I try to click it really fast so I wouldn't vibrate the TV. It wasn't until after I was editing this I was like, remote. I could have just used the remote. And so instead of having like a realistic TV turn off like I wanted it to, which I mean the camera defocused anyway, which just was not in my favor at all, I went with just a fade out. I want the easy way, and also you can see the tripod and the camera because I do not know how to occlude any of that. I know some people do know how to do that. That seemed like way far out of my my range, my comfort zone, especially for just a month. So I just kept it how it is. It's a tripod. It's a camera. Who cares? Speaking of the camera, I actually am using the Canon 6D Mark II. It's the one that you're currently looking at my face with. So that's nice. And also I used the Kodak EasyShare C182 for the part at the latter part of the video. And I'm using a Canon EF lens, a 24 to 105, I think. I'll have it up on the screen. So I transitioned. I try not to make it go too wide because I know that's not very cinematic. It doesn't look very good. So I try to keep it centralized, pretty zoom in and far away as I could for most of these shots here. But so as you may or may not realized, assuming you watched the video, which I told you to earlier, I actually used Fully Morning, the song that I made last month. And the reason I did this is because, well, I didn't intend on using the song initially. It wasn't until after the fact where I wasn't even going to put music in this. I was just going to keep ambience, which is what you see this entire track is. It's just ambience, and also this little bit here is also ambience. Which is I record on my phone, which in hindsight, I should record on the camera because I only recorded audio from the camera since I didn't have any really external sources I could have recorded from. I don't have another person to do a boom mic or anything like that. I only decided to do After Effects because it was so empty and it felt so boring. So to have that kind of that morning vibe to it, which the song is about waking up in the morning and stuff. The thing about it is that I didn't change the song towards the end. If you watch the video, you know it gets a bit darker towards the end. And even at the song stays out through the entire video except for the very beginning part, the newscast, and that is because it brings a new meaning to the song, which I didn't initially intend, which is actually pretty dang intriguing, which I really, really like. The fact when the harps start coming in, it kind of bleeds a bit of suspicion. It keeps you on the edge of your seat a little bit, which in the initial song making last month, I never intended on doing so. It was just supposed to be a lo-fi song that sounded cool. But the harp, the pluck strings, whatever they are again, they just add this suspicion, like what's going on here? Something's not right. And I really like that. That is super intriguing to me, and so I kept it in there, and I actually trying to make it up, match a little bit with the film after the fact, which I did a lot of yesterday. Honestly, I think that saved the short film from completely busting for me, because it was feeling very empty, and I have no idea what song, what sound effects I could have put it on there. I mean, I'm sure I could have scoured, but like I said, I don't have a lot of time to do this. So, yeah, I definitely, I saved the ball on that one, and I'm really glad that I did do that, because it ended up working out really well for me. But, we'll go into detail some of these parts. As you can see, I'm going to point out some of the inconsistencies, because I know some people will, so if I dog on myself, then you can't. I'm wearing pants. I got out of bed and I was wearing pants. Now, listen to me. So, if you think about it, some people, like my girlfriend, she gets home after a long day of work, and sometimes she doesn't get out of work because she just goes right to bed, she falls asleep. So that was the kind of vibe, you know. I didn't detail what time of the day I woke up. I tried to keep that hidden a little bit so I could try to emulate time throughout the entire thing without actually showing it at all, except for a couple key parts. I tried to detail like the time of day at some parts, and I had some restrictions in recording, so I couldn't detail the progression between morning and nighttime. In this case, because it's winter, morning more like morning and evening, because it gets dark around 4 to 5. Unfortunately, the part where I wanted to record at like that sort of midpoint didn't work out very well. Unfortunately, I recorded at the wrong time because I had to get a haircut, which is why my hair's shorter than in this. And I want to record that. My mom was like, "All right, let's get your haircut done," and I was like, "Oh crap, I gotta record this before it gets too dark, so I can actually finish the short film by Saturday, and then record the thing by Sunday." So yeah, there's a little bit of inconsistency in that, but I try to emulate the time progression throughout the day as much as possible. The first little part is very slow, and then it speeds up very fast towards the end, because I'm trying to basically give a sense of progression. Like, this is where we are, this is how things are currently, and then the reason it gets so fast at the end is because it's kind of sort of there to simulate the panic of what's going on. Like, I try not to deem like so far into, especially after the coffee part, I try not to deem so far into making the coffee, just pouring the coffee into the cup. As you know, I actually did make that coffee. I actually used that to film the rest of the thing to keep my energy up. I try not to detail way too into it, because I didn't want it to stretch on for so long, because that part was already so long. And then towards the end, I ramped it up so it would keep you on the edge of your seat, so you weren't stuck in there for so long. I tried to keep this relatively short, about 4 minutes. I wanted to keep it under 5 minutes for the most part. I didn't want to go longer than that. I additionally didn't have a plan for how long, but as I went through the editing process and the filming process, I was like, yeah, I don't like the vibe I'm going for this. I want like if you think about it like this, if you're a video editor at all, if you go into retime controls and you look here, you can change how fast something is at a particular point. So if I go to add speed point, I can change how it is fast right here, and then maybe add another speed point, and then like make it go any faster right there. So basically there's like the speed changes throughout the actual thing, not actually, but like the time spent is changed like in those areas, which I tried to get my point across in that region. So some things here, the beanie bill, it's back. Yeah, I put the reason I put the beanie bill on is because I wanted to make sure if I did have to record anything after I got my hair cut, that I wouldn't have any inconsistency with my hair getting shorter and longer at certain parts. So I got the beanie bill on, and that worked out pretty well for me, thankfully. I didn't have to do any of that, but that was just a safeguard for me. Like I said, these parts in the beginning are very slow, and then I get to the point where I'm calling out to my family, which is ironic because my mom and Olivia were also home. For anyone who doesn't know, Olivia's my little sister. But they were both actually home, so I was like, hey guys, I need you to be quiet, and when I call for your name, don't actually respond. And so I tried to mask a lot of them like making noise and stuff in the background, which thankfully I was able to do. This shot with the dogs, this is Jax, for anyone who doesn't know, this is Jax, and this is Ollie over here. Jax makes this really cute face where he looks over and he looks at the camera, and he looks for it again. It's so cute, and it was like the perfect little clip out. I didn't realize until I had already clipped it out, and it worked out perfectly. It was just so adorable. I made sure to get like a little zoom in here, you know, went to the store to go grab some things. I actually got my mom to write this for me. Yeah, I made sure to ramp up the speed a little bit. This part, so what I initially wanted to do for this part is I wanted to make it so I was scrolling through and then you saw in my hand that I was looking at the tweet. But it ended up not working out too well, so I pretty much after the fact, I get up and I act like I put the phone down. It looks like I put the phone down, and then I got to this part where it zooms in a little bit, which I probably could have zoomed in a bit more because it's kind of hard to see if you're like, I did a little watch party in my family, and it was a bit hard to see, and I realize that now. If you're not on a phone or something, it's kind of hard. Also, I want to go ahead and state I spelled government wrong. I put government. And also grammatically, I don't think that's right, has already began in effect. I don't know if that's grammatically correct. I'm not actually sure. I'm not an English teacher. But yeah, I made to make sure to tell there was a mass arrest at the local grocery store. I just said Winston-Salem because I didn't want to go into the specifics or make a new brand for like a grocery company or anything. So I just went with the bare minimum of like in the vicinity of the local grocery store in Winston-Salem, because it's not that important. And also I went to Inspector on my browser on my desktop and put in mobile mode, and I made sure it was in like close to the same dimensions as my phone, and then just I did some inspect element on someone's tweet and made this here. I just kept the comment and like ratio up at the same, and then I made sure that all of this doesn't have anything like bad or anything. I had the personality of a semi-defrosted chicken breast, which isn't bad at all, but it's just a funny little thing, I guess. I should have zoomed in a bit more after that watch party, I seemed, but if you see it, you see it. I guess it's kind of too late now, and I made sure to incorporate that UUXIA12 into there. So this part was super interesting because I only had everything on a tripod. I didn't bother going out and get my mom to help me record or anything like that. I made sure I wanted to do this on my own. So what I did is for this part, I run up towards the camera, down the stairs, and then the camera pans over to the right through a transform, which you can see because nothing actually moves. Yeah. And then it quickly transitions to this shot, which I tried to make as similar as possible. I have like a transform keyframes here to match up lightly. So basically what I did is those were two combined shots, and I had just moved the camera at the midpoint. I was like, wait, I could use that. So I ended up using that clip where I had moved the camera initially and then stitched all these three clips together. It looks a bit rough around the edges, but I was just working with what I had and tried not to dawn on it too much. Like I'm literally letting my perfectionist like pushing him down into the depths of HE double hockey sticks. I'm proud of what I feel like I could have done some better. I should have added some motion blur. I'm experimenting, a little bit with it all. But yeah, I thought that shot was pretty cool. It does look a bit strange though, that's for sure. In this part you can see me turn off my computer, and then this, which is really funny. This right here is pretty funny because there's sirens going off in the background if you listen. It's hard to miss, honestly. That was so perfect timing because I had went outside at like 3 p.m. and put the camera out there, and I closed the door, and I had already started filming, and I did the thing, and then I looked back and I was like, wait, literally the police sirens went off. I don't know exactly what's right. I think it is police siren. The police sirens went off exactly when I closed the door, so I actually had no idea. I didn't even hear it from the inside. It was actually really perfectly timed, and it actually kind of fits in with the whole narrative that the government is siding with Facebook and such, to use the police and everything. This shot was cool. I show like how I called my mom several different times. I was just like calling this fake number like several different times. You have a little fake number right here, which has no significance at all. And I just called it several times and got the whole Verizon has not recognized this number because it's not a real number. Several times throughout when I was editing the first part of this video. And then this part was right before I got my hair cut, like I said earlier. And it wasn't dark enough, but you can kind of see how it's dark a little bit. It's a little cloudier. And then this part is supposed to detail me, you know, going through my drawers, putting this into my camera. And I kind of feel like I missed the mark into this, but basically this is like supposed to be represented to the only thing that isn't internet connected into my house. Like, it's not connected to anything. It doesn't have to be connected online all the time. I don't have to worry about it like transmitting GPS location data or like sending information to the police or anything like that. I can use this just to document anything I need to or send my message, which is what I end up doing. And so I send my message. I got these shots of Aiden. These were actually recorded the day before of Aiden pulling up. He has his mask thing that it's exercise mask for the cold. Him coming in, breaking in through the house. And then I got the FBI open up sound effect because it actually fit perfectly. FBI open up! For this, I did a clip equalizer and then stretched it out. Took the first note and brought it in a little bit, so it sounded like a lot tinnier. It sounded like it was coming from the microphone. I thought it was a little neat touch. And of course, busting at the end. And actually, that was recorded the day before. But yeah, and that's basically the whole thing. And then I got the music with the text at the end, which is pretty neat. But yeah, that's November 2024 explained. Pretty interesting. I'm happy with it. And now my perfectionist wants to cram back and try to fix it all. I think that's what it is now. So yeah, this has been the explanation on November 2024. I want to thank Tyler Gaither. I want to thank Aiden Shrewsbury. I want to thank my entire family also as well for supporting me and, you know, giving me motivation to continue on. And because it's been pretty rough this past month trying to put this all together. And like I said, I want to thank Tyler and Aiden for acting in this. And they played pretty small parts, but also they gave a lot of context and, you know, helped it be more lively instead of just me on the camera. You know, you had a little bit more people in there. Also, I want to thank my dogs, of course. They're cool. You just heard them, actually. Oh, and also, because I forgot to detail this, I've been editing and recording this. I forgot to mention that I want to thank my camera, autofocus, for being so dang annoying. Because I realized that I have servo autofocus on my Canon 6D Mark II, and it makes this really terrible noise, and I didn't realize until afterwards that I had already filmed everything, so there was nothing I could do. The only part that it really isn't in is in the part where I'm doing the green screen part, because I actually had a lav mic for that, that I borrowed from Aiden. But yeah, I apologize for that. I tried to mask it up as much as I could, but yeah, it's really hard to get rid of, and I didn't have any other external mic sources. And so the parts where I try to get rid of it, that, you know, the ambience, I try to leave the ambience in there, but I record on my phone like I detailed earlier. But yeah, I also want to explain the reason I didn't exactly go into detail about my past stuff is because the last video was very long when I did that, and I wanted to save it for another time because this video has been pretty long within itself, so I didn't want to keep it as long as I know if I did do that, it would have been a lot longer. So if you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments, leave a like. I'd be super interested, and I'll for sure go back and we can react to some old stuff. I actually started a thing on Gaming Dominaria logo where I was reacting to some of my old gaming content, so I might do that for this channel as well for some of my old production stuff. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I also want to detail the giveaway that I announced the last video. I've had to postpone because it's just been so crazy dealing with a lot of stuff recently, so that probably will be a little at the end of December or the start of the new year. I'll probably do that because it's been a little too crazy to try to start up a giveaway and such. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'd love to answer them, whether you say I'm here or on the Nari Video Productions channel. I do want to note though that if you do say it on there, I don't get notification for that channel because I actually don't have it linked. I probably will try to remember to do that. Like, I'll try to link it so all the notifications go to my main email. But yeah, just let me know how you like it. What's up? What I could do better in the future. and I'd really love to hear it, because I do still want to do videography as a, as a little side thing as much as I can, because it's fun, and this was fun to make. I really did enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing how the game turns out. And I would love to do the poll, but like I said this last time, I don't have a lot of time to do that. I wish I could incorporate that into this one. Unfortunately, I can't. But yeah. So I'll be seeing you guys again in about a month. By then, I should probably know how well I did overall for my grade in the presentation and the research paper. Wish me good luck. I have 5 pages to write, which I'm going to start doing tomorrow. So you guys have a good one. Thank you for watching all the way through, if you did, which I'm assuming so if you're watching this right now. Yeah, you have a good day. You have a good night. I've recorded this all throughout the day. When I started recording, it was daytime, and now it's nighttime. So yeah, have a good time. And you know what? COVID has really, really opened up a lot of opportunities to just try new hobbies and do new things. So, don't keep yourself bored and waiting for the world to change. Change yourself. Do something new. This has really invoked that feeling within me. Just try something else new, or something that you haven't done in a long time. In my case, I haven't done video production in 2 years. So, yeah. Anyways, y'all have a good one, and I'll see you later.